three animations and the blend space now working, what we have to do now, we have to create a animation blueprint. So we're just gonna here go on right click, go into animation. Let's go here. We click animation blueprint. We select animation instance. We select the skeleton that we're going to be using, which is Brutus 6 skeleton. We hit OK. Now we call this my character anim underscore blueprint. We probably save all. Double click on that. This opens up. Now, the way this works is that I think probably be better if I show you the one that comes already with the mannequin. So we go here to mannequin animation. Pretty much recreated this. So we have the animation, the idle, the animation. This is the blend space, yeah. And then we have all the animations, and then we have this is what we're creating at the moment. So this here has, let me go here, yeah, animation graph. This is what we're starting now. So we have to create a state machine. And then double click inside, and we're going to create a state here, which is the idle run. And then we're going to go and create the similar here inside our blueprint. So just go here and just right click here, and we put add state, add new state machine. Okay. So now that we have that, we need to just rename it. Just call it basic locomotion. It's very basic. And then we just drag here and then put in the result. Double click this one inside, and we just click and drag. We create add state, and then we're gonna call this state idle walk underscore run. Okay. And then we go inside the idle underscore run here. Now that we have this, we have to go into the asset browser, and then we drag here the blend space. So if you're going back here, so we have the idle. Let's go all the way back here. So you go this is the final animation. So we call it state machine, and then we call it basic locomotion. We went inside, we created one state called the idle run walk. If you see the other one, the third person, it's more complicated. We go here, jump star, jump loop, and jump n, because they got more animations. And these are all controlled by a variable that sort of track if the character is in the air or it has landed or it's still about to land. So you can trigger this animation based on that variable. But that's a bit more complicated. What we're going to do is we're just going to create a simplified version with just only one state, which is just for the idle walk and run. So we just double click inside here. And then here we need to drag the actual blend space here, because we've been using this character. It recognizes all the animations and the blend space that we have here. So we're going to click and drag this one here, and I'm just going to connect to this here. And then now you can remember the variable that we created, speed. Now we have it here. So now we have to create this as a variable that we can feed into the blueprint, so the blueprint is able to update this, set this speed based on the velocity of the characters as travels along the game. So what we're going to do is right click here, say promote variable. Okay, just want to rename it here, the same as it is there, speed. Okay, we compile it. You see now this is no error, so now it automatically triggers the idle, because if we see this variable here in the details, it says that at the moment it has a variable of a default value of 0. If we increase this, you can see that we're going to blend between what we have before, between 0 and 100, which I think it was, to go to a run. So this variable here is the one that is going to be fed into the blueprint. The blueprint will be able to set it up so we can run the animation. So just compile this, it's all okay. We don't need anything else here. We can now go into the event graph and then create our logic. So all we have to do now, for now, is go into the same part inside the third-person template blueprint, and we just copy this, and then here it's going to come here and paste it. Now, obviously, we don't have this is in the air variable, because this variable is the one that is used to track if the character is in the air or no. So we're going to have to delete this, bypass that for now. And then what we have to do is the execution ping, just bring it down all the way to set here. And pretty much the way this works is that for every tick in the game, or every time the clock ticks in the game per frame, then it's gonna check if the character that is in the viewport is valid. If it's valid, if it's true, then it's going to take the velocity of that character, and then get the length of the velocity, which that will be the speed, and then set it to the speed variable that we created in the state machine. So if we compile this, it's all okay, no problem, and that's it. This is all up and running. So when we do that, let's go. We are ready to go to the next stage, which is create the other, which is actually the character blueprint. Okay, so at the moment we have the, let's compile this and save it. It's gonna close this. It's gonna close this. So now we have let me go back to my folder. So we have here animation. We have the 3 animations. We have the blend space. Now we have the blueprint. So this is animation. This container here has all the logic that it needs for you to trigger the animation that we created. In this case, the blend space. So now what we have to create is the actual 3D representation what the character is going to look like in the viewport. So, and that together will be the collision capsule, the direction of where it goes, pretty much what it has here, the equivalent of what you can see here, which is the camera, direction, capsule, and the actual character, and then put all the connection necessary for it to work, and then trigger inside the level, the game in this case. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you next. Bye bye.